Hey guys, so I've been getting a lot of emails in recently regarding the quadratic formula and how to use the quadratic solution to find x values. So we're just going to go through that now. So the quadratic formula, they usually look something like this. So we've got an x squared, x, and then just some kind of number. And there's one right there with the numbers in it. And what you do, if you're trying to find x here, you have to try and make it look something like this. So we've got to get a 0 on the left side, and then everything on the right side will work itself out. Then from here we can go straight into the quadratic solution. So this a, whatever number that is, we just put it into there. That b, we put it wherever that is, the c, and then we can just find our x values using the positive and negative solutions. So solve for x where y equals 1. Now this is a typical kind of question that you'd find in a textbook or even in an exam, and they'd usually give you a equation with it. So y equals negative 2x squared plus x plus 1. Okay, so there's two parts to this question. The first part is understanding where we put this y equals 1. So solve for x where y equals 1 for this equation. They're asking where y equals 1, what is x? So if we sub in y equals 1 here, then everything else, this is what they're asking, okay? Now we have to turn this into something that looks like that. So we're going to get a 0 on the left side. Now to do that, we're going to have to get rid of this 1 and make that 0. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So we're going to do minus 1 on this side and that side. Now 1 minus 1 on this side, that's 0, equals negative 2x squared plus x plus 1 minus 1. So that's just going to be 0. Now we have to look, we've got the left hand side as a 0 and the right hand side kind of looks like this, but we're missing something. We're missing the c. Now if you think about it, what c is actually is it's 0. So we actually have this imaginary plus 0 right there. Okay, so now I've got something that looks exactly like what our solution requires. So we just sub all these values in. We've got to find our a, which is negative 2, our b, which is going to be positive 1. Remember, mathematicians like to be lazy and not put their 1's in, so we've got a positive 1 right there, and then c is 0. Okay, now we go straight from here to the solution. So we write x equals, now it's negative b, so negative 1 plus or minus square root. Now it's b squared, so b is 1 for us, so 1 squared minus 4 multiplied by a, which is negative 2, times c, which is 0. And that's all over 2 times a, which is negative 2. Okay, now we just need to cover some of this. So 1 squared, x equals negative 1 plus or minus square root of 1 squared is just going to be 1 minus, now 4 times negative 2 times 0 is just 0. And that's all over 2 times negative 2, which is negative 4. Then we get x equals, so that's negative 1 plus or minus, now 1 minus 0 is just 1, square root of 1, it's just going to be 1, all over negative 4. Now we have to go into our positive and negative cases to get our two answers. So in the positive case, when this is plussing, we go x equals, now that's negative 1 plus 1 all over negative 4. Now negative 1 plus 1 is going to be 0, divided by negative 4, and 0 divided by negative 4 is just going to be 0 again. Okay, now in our negative case, so when it's negative, we got negative 1 minus 1 all over negative 4. Negative 1 minus 1, that's going to be negative 2. Still over negative 4. Now, two negatives make a positive. and 2 divided by 4 is just going to be 0.5 or a half. Now there are 2 x values that we get for this question. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I'll see you next week.